Hi, everybody. Welcome to Life Stories. Thanks for being here today. No video today, and definitely no tears. If you watched, I don't remember what episode it was, about me and my nanny, that was the first video recording of just me by myself, and I bawled like a baby through the entire thing. So, no video today, but also no tears. I wanted to talk to you about a couple of things that have happened recently, and I'm just sure that other people can relate to this. I want to know what you do whenever you do everything right. Not that you're perfect, not that you don't make mistakes, but you have a situation and you are so prepared for it. You do everything right, you do everything you know to do, and it still does not work out well, or it doesn't work out the way you thought it would. How do you handle those kind of situations? Because I've had a couple that have happened this week, and I'm realizing I get frustrated pretty easily. And oftentimes I get frustrated with myself, but sometimes our circumstances are completely out of our control. And I was trying to think of a time when I went through something that did not turn out like I wanted to, that I was prepared for, that I was okay with. And I'm having a hard time coming up with something. I'm sure there has been something in my life, but I'm realizing I get really frustrated really easily, and I want to change that. One of the things that happened wasn't directly happening to me, but if you're a parent, especially if you're a grandparent, I didn't like it when my kids were sick when they were little. I remember the first time my daughter got a fever, she was a baby, like she was under a year old, and I thought, well, this is it. Life's over. She's got a fever, and we're not going to be able to move on. I was also 17, but I just remember thinking that was it. This is the end. She's got a fever, and nothing is going to be good anymore, which is so absurd. But I didn't like it when my kids were sick. I still don't. They're all adults, and I still don't like it when they're sick. But when my grandkids are sick, oh my gosh, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it when they're sad and they don't have energy and they don't feel good. And my oldest granddaughter recently got sick, and she was very sick. And it broke my heart because she just was so sad, and I didn't like it at all. But here's the thing that frustrated me. My daughter is an excellent mother. She's just an excellent mom. She does everything right. She's not perfect, but she does everything that you're supposed to do. And she doesn't just protect her children. She doesn't just make sure they eat and buy them clothes and, make sure they have a nice bed. She does all those things, but that's not all she does. She is on the offense as far as sickness and germs are concerned. And I know this because I've seen it firsthand. And when I stayed with my grandkids last year, my daughter and son-in-law went out of town. And so I spent the night over there one night while the girls were in school, and I had to help get them ready for school. And I had to pick them up. And I see all the things that she does to try to get rid of germs when they walk in the door, when they come home, to try to protect them with vitamins and different. She does everything right. She does so much more than I ever did. She does it all right. And so when my granddaughter got sick, I got so mad. Not at my daughter, obviously not at my granddaughter. It's not their fault. And I know that life just happens. Sometimes things just happen. But I was so mad because she does everything so well to protect those girls, and it just really frustrated me that she got sick. Now, she went to the doctor, got medicine. She's all better. She's doing great. But I didn't like it. I don't like it. It makes me sad when they're sick. But the other thing that happened was yesterday. I think I'm finally done grumbling about it, but I want to talk about it because I know somebody else can relate to these kind of situations. Several months ago, I was asked to participate, and I've kind of hinted at it, but I haven't been allowed to announce it yet, and now I can. I was asked to be a co-author for a book called We Walk by Faith, Not by Sight, Marketplace Ministry, and this is the second volume. And finally, the book is coming out. There have been lots and lots of delays, but the book is coming out in the next couple of days. And so yesterday, we had a Facebook Live with Kimberly Spencer, who is the creator of Behind Her Brand, and then some of the authors. There's 8 authors in this book, and some of the authors were able to participate in this live event. And she asked us questions, pretty much questions that were in the book, but just about our faith journey. And I wanted to be so prepared for this because, number one, I don't like doing live things. It makes me nervous. One of the things she's encouraged us to do is Facebook Lives for our business, for the podcast or whatever. And it just really scares me because I record my podcasts not live purposefully so that I can edit them. So I can take out things that don't, I don't have to share. I don't need to share. I tend to go on rabbit trails often, which if you've listened to my podcast, you know that's true. I take out all the ums and the, extra little things that don't need to be added. And I can't do that if it's live. And so it makes me very nervous. So I really wanted to be prepared for this event. So I even wanted to know what she was going to ask us, but she didn't tell us. She said it would be very easy. And it was. The question and answer part of this was the easiest part. That is the part I was most nervous about, and that was the easiest part. We had planned a date for this event, this online event, and then it got changed. And it got changed to a day that I was already going to be at my daughter's house. My daughter lives about almost an hour and a half from here. And we had already made plans to go do some fun stuff. And I thought, well, I'm already going to be over there. I won't have time to rush home. I'll just record at her house. I'll go in my grandkids' room and record, which was no big deal. So I brought my laptop. I had everything ready. And I even got my laptop set up an hour before the event. Like, I wanted to make sure the lighting was good. I wanted to make sure my sound worked. Everything was perfect, except it wasn't. I got online just a few minutes before, and I was online. I could see everybody. They could see me, but nobody could hear me. And she didn't use Facebook. She used a different program. And for some reason, the program she was using was trying to use the sound on my laptop from another program that I did not even have open. When I record, I've done this twice. I've done 2 in-person interviews. And whenever I do that, I have to use a separate software to record on with both microphones. For some reason, this program she was using yesterday was trying to pull my sound from that software that I didn't even have open. There was no reason for it. I didn't even have a microphone set up because I was just going to use the sound on my computer. And I was scrambling to get it fixed because I didn't know that was going to happen. And so I thought, okay, that's okay. I can do it on my phone. I have Facebook on my phone. I'll just do it on my phone. Well, I did, but it kept knocking me off. The internet kept knocking me off. Plus, I had to hold my phone for 45 minutes. I couldn't find a place to set it where it would be, eye level with me. And I had to be in the bedroom because my son-in-law he works from home and he is on calls all day. And so I had to, get out of where he couldn't hear me, or I didn't want to disturb any of his calls. So I was very, very frustrated. It kept knocking me off, and I felt so bad. Like I felt terrible. I wanted to cry when I got off of that call because I was so embarrassed that this happened. I was prepared for this. I got everything ready. I did everything right. I did everything I knew to do, and it still, I felt like was a disaster. Now, it wasn't really a disaster. I have not gone back to watch it because I was so mad, but other people have watched and said, no, it was fine. Yes, you had some technical problems, but it was fine. And Kimberly, who is, the head of everything, I messaged her after it was over, and I said, Kimberly, I'm so sorry. I said, I was not goofing off. I was taking this seriously. I really tried to be prepared for this, and I don't know why I had so many problems, but I just want to apologize. And she was very encouraging, and she said, do not apologize for this. She said, trust me, I know about technical difficulties. She said, at the end of the day, you gave great insight and people will be encouraged by what you shared. She said, that's all that matters. And so I'm just going to take that. I'm going to take my friend Lauren, who was, she's a hype woman. Everybody needs a Lauren in their life, like I have. She was awesome and encouraging. And she was there. I didn't realize this until the end, but on those Facebook Lives, people can comment and talk about what's being said, and I couldn't read any of it because I'm holding my phone the whole time. Also, I have to wear reading glasses, and so anytime my phone is up close, I have to have my glasses on or I can't really see. So everybody's face was blurry to me. I didn't know what my hair looked like. I didn't know. I couldn't see anybody else's face. But when I got finished and I looked, Lauren had commented all through the event, and I talked to her last night at church, and I just hugged her, and I said, thank you for being so sweet to me. Thank you for being so encouraging, because she was. And then she shared my post and shared it with others to encourage other women. And really, that's what it was about to begin with, to encourage other women. In all of that, I got very frustrated. And like Kimberly said, at the end of the day, all those technical difficulties don't matter. Who cares? Who cares if my face disappeared and popped in 5 times? Who cares? Was I sharing what God put on my heart? Yes, I was. Was I confident and poised, like my mom said? Yes, I was. Did I share what I felt like I needed to share? Did I answer those questions so that people understood what I was trying to say? Yes, I did. How do we fix this problem? How do we fix the way we handle these kind of situations? Because it happens. Life happens. My husband and I talked about this last night, and he and I are very, very different. We believe in the same things that matter, that are important in life, but we think very differently. He is very analytical, and I'm very not analytical. He needs to know why. He needs to know why on pretty much everything. And maybe I should ask why more, but I don't need to know why. Sometimes I don't care about why. Sometimes it doesn't matter. And so yesterday in all of this, I wasn't asking why it happened. I was just mad that it did. One thing I can do to change, and I don't know how you can change your attitude about stuff like this, but for one thing, I've got to change my expectations. I've got to change my mindset in that everything's not going to be perfect. It's not going to work out perfectly without any glitches or without any problems. That's not real life. That's not realistic. I would love for it to be, but it's just not. Things are going to happen, But if I would change my expectations before I even start and understand it's going to be okay. If it's not perfect, it's going to be okay. That doing my best to be prepared and to do what I know to do, that's all I can do. That's it. I have to just trust God with the rest of it. I've got to trust that everything's going to go the way it's supposed to if I know I've done my best. I am definitely not a perfectionist. In fact, I should probably strive a little bit more towards perfectionism. One thing, my husband, he is a perfectionist, and he has mellowed out a whole lot over the years, and God's changed his heart on a lot of things, but he does things with excellence. He wants to do it right the first time so he doesn't have to do it again. I've learned to be a little bit more like that. I'm definitely not probably enough, but I've learned to be a little bit more like that. The other thing is, and I am preaching to myself here because I talked about this on the video yesterday. It's on Facebook. If you follow me on Facebook, or if I'm friends with you on Facebook, I didn't put it on my podcast page. It's on the Behind Her Brand Facebook page. Our video is. So in all of this, I want to encourage you, and I've got to encourage myself with something that I said yesterday. In my frustration of everything that did not go right, in my frustration of the technical difficulties and being upset that it was not perfect, I answered a question that I thought about it last night, and it kind of helps me with everything that bothered me yesterday. One of the things that I said was to trust the process, to not be so focused on the end result that you can't be present in the moment. Because a lot of times, the things that we go through, the hard things, maybe not the hard things, but the journeys that we're on, sometimes it's not about the end result. Sometimes it is about the journey. Sometimes that's where we learn everything. In fact, most of the time, that's where we learn everything. It's not just about this result at the end, this good news, this answered prayer, this whatever. Yes, there are things that we want and we work for and we pray for. But sometimes it's about the journey, and God wants us to learn as we're walking that journey out. And so I was encouraging people to trust the process. Don't be so focused on the end that you're not enjoying the moment and learning what you need to learn along the way. And so what did I learn yesterday? I learned that things are not always going to be perfect. They're not always going to go the way I want them to go. They're not going to be without glitches or without technical difficulties. It's not always going to be perfect, but it can still be good, and I can still learn. Let's do the word of the week.
It's the word of the week.
The word of the week this week is process. Trust the process. What are you learning in the process? In the process of waiting for that thing, waiting for someone you've been praying for to have what they need, waiting for that big job promotion or raise, or waiting for whatever it is you're waiting for, whatever it is you're praying for, whatever it is you're working hard for. What are you learning in the process? I am learning that I have a long way to go. I have so much to learn. Just when I think I've figured some things out, I realize how much I don't know. But it's okay. It's okay. God didn't create us perfect. In fact, we are absolutely not perfect. And He didn't expect perfection from us. He expects us to make progress. That's all He expects. So in the process, I know I'm making progress, but I know I have a long way to go. Thanks for listening. I hope you have a great day.